Hello again. Here are the little puppies, and I can report that we are officially in winter now. So let me show you around what that means. So over here, the little pumpkin patch has changed. The pumpkins are now exposed because we had some frost, and I saw -2 degrees Celsius, and that killed all the plants. All the leaves. Not the plant, but probably the plant in this case as well. So here we can now clearly see what our harvest is going to be like. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these squashes. We already ate one, it was delicious. So there is another one. So I can collect them now. And what you can also see is that these trees, the paulownia trees, they have lost their leaves. They are now on the ground in a circle around the tree, and makes me happy to see this, because that means we now have the biomass on the ground and also light. So now whatever wants to develop under these trees now can. So this is a very positive side. Let's go over to the other patch, and then as we loop around, we can also check on the future dog enclosure, where we also have quite a few of these paulownia trees. This morning everything was white here because the dew was frozen. There you see, all the way to the top. The leaves are coming off. And this is all biomass. You can hear the chicken, they are over there. Well, you can actually also see them. They had been calling each other. There's Mr. Cat. He wants to receive his cat food. And I have a ladder here because I had some problems. I think it's the cable with the camera there. I have a cable tester in my pocket, and I will soon check this. The passive part is already connected. But let me show you first how this looks like. So same situation, everything down what could fall off, and it's a very nice circle. I am not sure what my tomatoes are going to say. Well, they also look bad. see, as much as we can peek in there, it was cold for them as well. Of course, this whole thing is not perfectly closed. You can see here the warm air can escape. I don't think we will have a tomato harvest. It's a bit a shame, because they have been looking very nice. So maybe now you can see how it looks on the inside. This is a makeshift thing. Once they suddenly self-seeded, we said, okay, let's use some rests and do this. Oliver wants to show everybody that he's a big hunter, but it's because of the cat. But Mr. Cat knows, because he has been dealing with them before. And remember, there was a video where he even was eating together with the dogs. So this is a special relationship. So let's continue. Here on the other side, see this patch here? Those are some sizzles. And I will cut them as much as they emerge, and also the grass all around. And maybe the grass will eventually win. So there is more of this. That was Oliver barking. They're all over there. They like to chase everybody away. So as I'm here, you can also see the pond. It hasn't rained, so the water that we have in there was seeping in from the ground, or is from the last rainfall. And over here, the big tree also shed all its leaves, including the little offspring here to the right. I can hear the acorns dropping, which is now a frequent thing. I just heard one fall down here. So basically, if you listen for 5 minutes, you can hear them drop all over the place. The two remaining horses are over there. They are happy, and apparently this area is free of any bad things. We need to wait until the lab comes back with some results to get a clue what might have been the reason. And thank you for all your nice words, your condolences. I do have a weak spot for the horses. Horses are somehow special creatures. I'm not seeing anything spiritual or mythical in them. It is just that they are smart and they like to work with a human if the human has been treating them well. And whoever treats me nice, I will treat nice, basically. So there is a mutual thing. But being on a horse's back is definitely a very interesting experience, very positive. And yeah, there is beauty and power at the same time. And horses like to communicate, the dogs too, but you can't ride a dog, so therefore there is a little bit. But then you can see that horse people also are dog people most of the time. So wherever there are horses, there are dogs. And And we have this symbiotic relationships from previous times. And if I had to choose, then I would probably work more with horses and dogs and donkeys. It's another type of equine. And cattle is also part of that. So this is the traditional thing. And it is very nice. So I do see more horse things in the future. But first things first. So I'm walking around. Maybe I can see something else that is worth pointing out. So of course, because of the low temperatures, the grasses only grow a little bit, and therefore I have not been here to cut. It wasn't needed, but soon I should do this again. Here in this area you see the paw prints. The dog was here, and the dog was doing his or her business, and we can see that it was also covered, which is good. So the grass is definitely tall here, so it is worth cutting. But cutting also means that this will then be distributed. Well, it stays low, so I will not soil myself with that. But the dogs like to use this here as their toilet, which is okay. Those grassy areas is where they like to do it and where they should. So I'm now taking you over here, and here the same thing happened. So all the Paulownia trees, they have lost their leaves. We didn't fix any fencing here. You might remember that over there the fence is down, but the area is closed, so the sheep that are now alone, the 6 sheep here in this back area, what we call zone B, well, the whole thing is zone B, so including this we call B1, but this is now for the sheep alone, because Sakahaweya is no more. And the original thought was to have the 3 horses now together, but the universe decided otherwise, and so we only have the retired Zolo and Tuscarora, so we only have 1 horse that we can ride. And this is how it's going to be for a while, unless suddenly some horse needs rescue, and we can then introduce that horse here. So once the financial situation has dramatically improved, the next big activity will be to put the concrete slab here and build that workshop. And as I'm here, I'm not trying to talk a lot about future things, but as I'm here I can point this out so that everybody is informed. So this here to the right is going to be the workshop, and that comes first. And there is already some rough design decisions. So over here there will be a utility room, and therefore cables and water lines and all this, they will go in there and then go out, and then there to the back. And on the other side over there will be a heat pump, and this whole concrete slab will be insulated and heated so that we can control the climate on the inside. winter more or less warmish, and summer it should be cool. And there are also some ideas. So there, the way back, there will be a main door. Then there will something be like a garage door, so that we can even enter with a big vehicle like this one and do something on the inside. And there in the very back, I want to have something like a commercial kitchen, so that we can process something. Might be animals that we harvested or plants. So not a kitchen to prepare a meal, but the part that comes before. And then here, that wall will be shared between the workshop and the actual house on the other side. So there will be an extension, another concrete slab, and this whole area will then be under the house. Of course, it needs leveling and so on. And the hole that we already dug because we needed the material for something else, this will have a water tank. And then there in the front, there will be some sort of a terrace, an outdoor area, but under a roof. I am thinking about bifocal solar panels, so that we have some light, but also it's protected. It's outdoor, not heated, nor cooled. Maybe a fan, ceiling fan certainly. But this will basically float on top of what you see here. And this is then going to be the actual house, the house that we don't have at the moment. And here, this will be part of the driveway. So there to the left, the fence continues and separates the farmyard from the house. The house is parking, and you can then come in here, go through this area. So there will be gravel here so that it looks nice. And then you can park the vehicle there. And basically there where Checker is, there will be the entrance to the actual house, to a mudroom. And that helps also to keep it cool or warm depending on the season on the inside. And there where the dogs are, basically this area, this is the fenced in area for the house and the farmyard on the other side. So there will also be another main door so that you can step out the house and go directly into the farmyard. Which also means that we now have two separate areas once this is then done. So this is the design. And yeah, let's see what else we have. It is a beautiful day, and also the sun is out. It is warm, but it's not overly warm. So if you step out quickly, yeah, you can do this in a t-shirt, so it's not that cold, but it is better to be well dressed for this temperature. So you see what is growing here in this area. That used to be the holding area for cattle. And this hole will eventually be filled again. I needed material and I did not want to keep the door open, a gate. So I just took it out from here. Once the big excavator is here to create the level zone for the other concrete slab, that's better done by someone who does this and has the right machine, then this will also be filled. And my hope is that we can use the material for all this when we dig the extension for the big pond there, like we did by creating the platform in the first place. So something like that will happen. And over there we have our second Miyawaki forest. There are still lots of plants missing, and some are in those trays. When Andrel comes back, he will probably continue to plant those. So we are a little bit in a holding pattern. And of course there's now the holidays and people want to be with their families, which is perfectly fine. And I am doing the very same thing, of course. But we can see that we are in the process of continuing to clean this place up and get things better organized. It needs a lot of effort. So I can give you a peek here on the inside, and I then also can feed the dogs. It is their time. So here on the inside it looks still chaotic and there's lots of stuff on the ground, but Angel has removed many things and there needs to be more. It needs to be recovered. We find a lot of things that we thought we do not have, and suddenly we found them here in all this chaos. The chaos from the past, when there were more people here and not really paying attention. But thing of the past. And I think I mentioned that the last time. We will fix the roof so that it won't blow away completely. We have the material already, but for the time being we need to continue our cleanup effort. And then we have a storage area again for things that can get wet because there's condensation. So you might see this here. So these markings, that is the condensation dripping from that beam above. So this is not perfectly dry, but it's an area that is mostly dry. So now that we have Knut here, he wants to get something to eat, and let's do this now.